Welcome everybody to a look at what is undoubtedly the biggest release from our video for 2024, and it is Shawscope Volume 3. So yeah, they've obviously released two of these in the past. I'll quickly show you them now. So Volume 1 had 12 films plus 2 soundtrack discs, and yeah, I've enjoyed all of those. And then Volume 2 had 14 films and 2 soundtrack discs. Now, unfortunately, I've not gotten quite round to seeing any of the films in this box set yet, but this new third volume doesn't feature any sequels to these films, so I don't, have any issue with mixing up watching films from each of the two of them. So yeah, and just like the previous box set, this also has 14 films inside, although it doesn't have two soundtracks, it has one and then a special features disc as well, which also has a little bit of a special extra on that disc as well, outside of the usual special extras. So yeah, the big plus point with these box sets has always been the presentation of the films when it comes to the discs and such. And they come in this big book. If you've never seen them before, they come in this big book, which yeah, has such and such on the front, and then on the back Shawscope, the box actually has that on the back as well. And yeah, they are presented a lot like the Criterion Collection did with their Godzilla collection, and as well as the the Universal Horror Monsters set that I've also shown off. So yeah, so the first film is One Armed Swordsman, which has a disc all to itself. Now, I haven't actually seen any of the One Armed Swordsman films before, but I have seen the crossover film that was with the Zatucci series, as it was Zatucci meets One Armed Swordsman. And yeah, I never heard of the character before seeing that film, but then I looked back and saw that there were several films of that character released, but I couldn't find them for love or money. So yeah, it's really nice to finally have the first one, but we also have the two follow-ups as well. We have Return of the One-Armed Swordsman and the New One-Armed Swordsman. So yeah, both share the same disc there. So yeah, really looking forward to those three films. They're the ones that I'm most looking forward to. And then on the third disc, we have another pair of films. We have The Lady Hermit and Intimate Confessions of a Chinese Courtesan. Now that sounds a bit more like period drama, but maybe with some action. Now the general theme across this box set has been looking at the Wuxia films that were around in the 60s and 70s, but then grew back in popularity in the early 80s. So this spreads from 1967 to 1983. So yeah, interesting to look at that genre from well before your Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragons and such were released. And then on its own disc, we have the 14 Amazons. Always love the poster artwork with these releases. It's one reason why I like that Criterion Collection with the Godzilla films and then the Universal Horror ones. Then on the fifth disc, we have the Magic Blade and Clans of Intrigue. And yeah, all of these have been restored. The One-Armed Swordsman has had the most done to it, as that has had a 4K restoration, whereas all of the other ones have had a 2K restoration. But that's still, yeah, a lot of work to put into what is obviously a 14-film box set. And then on the sixth disc, we've got Jade Tiger and the Sentimental Swordsman, which, yeah, again, looks fantastic. Really good artwork. And then on the seventh disc, we have the Avenging Eagle and Killer Constable. Killer Constable postwork artwork is, yeah, probably my favourite. I just love that massive, you know, aggressive sword with the lightning behind him and everything. It just looks cool. And then you've got the really rather violent artwork at the bottom of it as well, with someone with a bunch of arrows in them and such. So, yeah, it really does set a kind of tone for the rest of the film, I believe. And then finally on the eighth disc, we have Buddha's Palm and Bastard Swordsman. Any film that has that word in it, in its title, is always going to be one of my favourites, or at least something that will intrigue me. You know, the original Inglourious Bastards, and then that Japanese detective film, 231 or whatever it's called, with Bastards Go to Hell. just yeah, it's just a great word to put in a title that you want to immediately yeah, show off. Well, kind of grab your attention as it was. And then on the bonus disc, which has artwork for all of the films in a compilation there, we have a high definition presentation of the rare Korean version of Killer Constable with newly translated English subtitles, featuring over half an hour of exclusive alternate footage never released outside South Korea before. Contains standard definition VHS inserts for unique material. So, yeah, it won't be the highest of quality when it comes to that extra footage, but clearly they've not had, any film prints or anything like that to work from for that, unfortunately. And then we've got newly filmed appreciation of director Cho Yoon by film critic and historian Tony Raines. Now, a bunch of these films are from that director. I think it's like 4 or 5 or something like that. So he certainly takes up most of this box set's films. And then we have an interview with stuntwoman Sharon Young on Intimate Confessions of a Chinese Courtesan, filmed in 2005 by Frederick Ambrosian. Then we have appreciation of Intimate Confessions of a Chinese Courtesan from 2003 by academic Si Man Hung, musician Kwan King Chung, and filmmaker Clarence Fock, um, who did the film Naked Killer. And then we've got interview with actor Tai Lung, recorded in 2004 by Frederick Ambrosian. Then we got archive interviews with director Cho Yun, actors Yun Hua and Ching Li on The Magic Blade. Then we have appreciation of Cho Yun's career by film historian Sam Ho, filmed in 2003 by Frederick Ambrosian. Then we have interview with screenwriter Zi Tuon on The Magic Blade, filmed in 2005, also interviewed by Frederick. Then we have interview with actor Ku Feng on The Avenging Angel, filmed in 2004, also by Frederick. And then we have interview with actor Eddie Ko on The Avenging Angel, filmed in 2004, also by Frederick. So he did a lot of interviews in just a short space of time there. But maybe that's his profession, is being an interviewer, so maybe that's why he did so many of those. And then on the 10th and final disc is the more music from Shaw Brothers classics. Like I said, we had 2 of these in the previous releases. So yeah, either there wasn't enough music to warrant a second disc, or they just wanted to concentrate more on extras that they found. So we have music here from The Sentimental Swordsman, Killer Constable, Avenging Angel, Bastard Swordsman, and then we also have more music from the films that we've also had in the previous releases. So we have music from Mighty Peking Man, Chinatown Kid, Invincible Shaolin, The Five Venoms, Mad Monkey Kung Fu, Five Super Fighters, Boxer's Omen, and yeah, so all those up to Bastard Swordsman are the ones that are on this box set, and then the rest are from previous releases. So not sure why they've included ones from previous releases or for whatever reason, but yeah, that's curious. Also, kind of surprised that all of the extras for Intimate Confessions of a Chinese Courtesan weren't on the third disc, given that is where the film is. But maybe those how many interviews was it? Yeah, the good couple of a good long interview on one of them by the looks of things, and then an appreciation as well. So maybe they were just too long to fit on the disc, because obviously these are only Blu-ray discs, so there's not as much room on these as there will be on a 4K. And then you've also got another film on there as well, and then you've got to fit extras for that film as well as the other film as well. So maybe there just wasn't enough room on that disc. So yeah, but it's cool that they're able to get so many extras and from so many different cast members and people that have worked on the films themselves. In terms of running time, the films run from anywhere between 93 minutes long all the way up to 130 minutes long. So yeah, even though these weren't, the highest budgeted films, they never skimped on running time. I don't think we've had any film in these box sets that have been run less than 80 minutes. So yeah, that's always cool. And apparently, our video at the very least considered this to be the best of the 3 that they've released so far. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching them. Obviously, I haven't seen any of the films from the second box set yet, just for whatever reason, haven't gotten around to it. I only recently finished the first box set because even though I was on a run of watching those films for quite some time, whatever reason, I'd never completely got derailed off of watching them and didn't get around to the final three. So yeah, I've only recently just finished those off, but that first box set was really excellent. I don't think there was any film in there that I hated, and one of them I recently watched called Heroes of the East was superb. Really, really good mix of the martial arts from likes of Hong Kong and the Japanese martial arts as well. Well, it's done in an entirely respectful way. It's not trying to say that one is better than the other. And in fact, nobody even dies in that film. So yeah, to keep the respect there. So yeah, really looking forward to watching these. I'm not sure if I'll review any of them. It depends whether or not I can, fit such artwork like that in a thumbnail shot or whatever. Um, but yeah, if I find a way to fit them in, then I'll definitely give them a look. I have no hesitation in terms of watching the films from this box set first before the second one, or mixing the two together, because at the end of the day, none of these are sequels at the end of the day, and the only sequels in here are a sequel to the first film in the first disc, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, fantastic looking box set as per usual, like the previous two were. Little on the expensive side, but at the end of the day, you are getting 14 films and a shed load of extras, and the physical presentation alone is still worth the money as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, highly recommend getting this release, especially if you enjoyed the previous two. But nonetheless, if you have seen any of these 14 films, I'd like to hear your thoughts on them. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.